Is you alright? Is you cool? You okay? Like what? Motherfuckers be making up excuses off of how they already feeling. If you already feeling like that, that's is how you feeling like.
Also known as Key, died here Sunday. Now friends are remembering her, how they loved her, and they want to kill her.
Kiera McGee never made it home. A woman gets a video call in the middle of the night. It's her daughter's friends, and they're frantic. They can't wake her up. Belinda Ayers looks at her phone and sees her daughter Kiera lying there, lifeless, and in that moment, her entire world changes. Hours earlier, that same daughter had FaceTimed her mother, laughing, showing off her outfit, telling her she was headed to a friend's birthday party. Today, we're breaking down the murder of Kiera McGee, a Kansas City woman known to thousands online as Key, and a case that police still haven't cracked. Before we get into it, if you find this kind of investigative breakdown valuable, take a second to like this video, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to Real True Crime Analysis with notifications turned on. It genuinely helps this channel keep covering cases like this one, and I'd really appreciate you being part of that. Okay, let's get into what happened to Kiera. Kiera McGee was 35 years old, though a few outlets have listed her as 33 or 36 and lived in Kansas City, Missouri. If you spend any time on social media in that city, there's a decent chance cases like this one and live part of that. Okay, let's get into what happened to Kiera. Kiera McGee was 35 years old, though a few outlets have listed her as 33 or 36 and lived in Kansas City, Missouri. If you spend any time on social media in that city, there's a decent chance you'd come across her. She had built a following of more than 20,000 people, and she opened her videos with a phrase that became something like a personal brand, key to the city. Her parents described her as a go-getter, someone who threw herself into whatever she wanted.
Oh, this lady doing her research. She got the 150 states clips and all that. I don't know who this lady is, though. Y'all need to go follow her, check her out. She got a bunch of different shit on there. We're going to go through it, though.
To do, always leaning toward the positive, a music entertainer, a self-promoter in the best sense of the word, the kind of person who makes an impact without even realizing how far it's reaching. That impact became painfully clear after her death. Her mother later said she started getting calls from people in Las Vegas, Detroit, St. Louis, New York, cities she never expected to hear from. I didn't realize how much this city loves my daughter, she said. It's one of those details that tells you a lot about who Kiera was to the people around her, even before you know anything about how she died. She wasn't just a name in a headline. She was somebody's whole world, and to a following of strangers online, she was still somehow familiar. That's not something every online creator manages to build. And it says something about how genuine she came across, even through a screen. So let's walk through what we actually know happened that night, because in cases like this, the details matter, and the order they happen in matters even more. It was early.
Now, she getting her breakdown down. I see you, sister. I don't know where this lady from.
Early Sunday morning, August 2nd, 2026. Sometime around 3:30 to 4 a.m., gunfire broke out in a parking lot in the historic northeast area of Kansas City, near the intersection of Independence Avenue and Van Brunt Boulevard. Specifically, the lot belonged to an O'Reilly Auto Parts store. Now, this wasn't some random deserted lot. Police believe there were as many as a few dozen people present when the shooting started. That's a significant detail, and we'll come back to it because it shapes almost everything about how this investigation has unfolded since. A Jackson County Sheriff's deputy happened to be nearby and heard the gunshots. That deputy responded to the scene almost immediately, arriving around the same time as officers who'd been dispatched after 911 calls came in. When they got there, they found an adult woman unresponsive in the parking lot. That woman was Kiera McGee. Despite efforts to save her, she was pronounced dead at the scene. According to Kansas City police, The preliminary investigation indicates that Kiera had been in that parking lot with an unknown number of other people when one or more suspects began shooting and she was struck. That phrasing is important, and I want you to sit with it for a second. One or more suspects. That means police aren't even confirmed on how many shooters were involved. And an unknown number of other people means this wasn't an isolated, quiet moment. This happened in a crowd, in the dark, in the middle of the night, on a weekend when a lot of people were out. According to her parents, Kiera was on her way to a friend's birthday party when this happened. Whether that party was connected to the gathering in that parking lot, or whether she was simply passing through on her way somewhere else, hasn't been made clear by investigators. That's one of the first open questions in this case. Was she at her intended destination, or caught in the middle of something happening on the way there? It's a distinction that changes the entire shape of the story, and right now we simply don't have an answer. Here's a detail that stayed with a lot of people following this story. Belinda said that when she arrived at the scene, there was no ambulance, and there wasn't one the entire time she was there. Now, to be clear, we don't know the full context behind that. Emergency response situations can be complicated, and timelines from grieving family members at chaotic scenes.
Nah, man, police nowadays, you call the cops, man, they put you on hold. It'd be like, 911, can you hold, please? Like, nigga, this is emergency, bro. They send you the voicemail and shit. Thank you for calling the police department. We are unable to answer the call right now, but if you please leave your name and number, we will get back to you. Like, nigga, hold up. This is the cops. How the fuck did y'all put me on hold? Send me the voice. I called the police one time. A motherfucker, it did. You know how you got the voicemail shit? It'd be like, hello? I'm like, yeah, hey, police, I need some help. Hello? Yeah, hello? How y'all thought we was on here? Nah, thank you for calling 911. Leave us a message. I said, what the fuck? The hell is this shit? But them motherfuckers don't never respond right on time. That's why it sounds suspicious when they was like, the sheriff heard the shots, but then they arrived at the same time as the cops did. They got the call. We know for sure as soon as you call the police, they're not going to be there right away. They're going to ask you 80,000 questions first. Okay, where are you located? Okay, is the suspect, have you saw him? Like, nigga, just get here. Somebody just got shot, bro.
Aren't always going to match up perfectly with official records. But it's the kind of detail that raises questions for a mother standing at the place her daughter died. Does that seem like something investigators should be able to clarify? It's worth asking, and it's the kind of thing that, fair or not, tends to stick with a family long after the initial shock fades. Let's talk about what investigators have actually released, because in cases like this, it's important to separate what's confirmed from what's assumption. Kansas City police have said that homicide detectives and crime scene investigators canvass the area for witnesses and search for surveillance video while processing the scene for evidence. That's standard procedure, but in this case, it carries extra weight because of how many people were reportedly there. A parking lot with a few dozen witnesses should, in theory, generate a lot of leads. Multiple angles, multiple accounts, maybe even multiple phones recording nearby. Since that's simply how people behave now when something dramatic happens in public. But as of the most recent reporting, no suspect has been named, no arrest has been made, and no motive has been released. That silence is worth sitting with. Why would a shooting in front of that many potential witnesses still be unsolved days later? There are a few possible explanations, and I want to walk through them as theories, not facts, because nobody has confirmed any of this publicly, and it's important that we don't present speculation as if it were established investigative fact. One possibility is fear. In
I fuck with you, whoever you is. You doing your thing. I see you.
cases with large crowds, witnesses sometimes know exactly what happened and who was involved, but they're unwilling to come forward because they're afraid of retaliation. Detectives specifically said they still need to hear from anyone who heard or saw something, which suggests they believe there are people out.
I don't understand. There ain't no cameras out around fucking the auto parts store. No parking lot cameras in the auto park store is what y'all telling me. I don't see that being the case. Nigga, let you. That's what I don't get it, man. What the fuck? The cops, nigga, They catch you speeding on camera nowadays. You can't tell me you ain't got no street light cameras down up. Like it don't make sense to me.
There with information who haven't spoken up yet. That's a common pattern in cities dealing with a high volume of gun violence, where the fear of being labeled a snitch or the fear of becoming a target yourself can outweigh the pull to help solve a case, even one involving someone as widely known and loved as Kiera. Another possibility is confusion. When gunfire erupts in a crowd, people scatter. Accounts can become inconsistent. Different witnesses may have seen different things, or nothing at all, depending on where they were standing and how quickly they reacted. It's also worth remembering that not everyone in that lot was necessarily a stranger to Kiera. Some may have been part of the group, headed to the same birthday party. Others may have had no connection to her at all, simply people who happened to be nearby when shots rang out. Untangling who was who and who saw what is exactly the kind of painstaking work that can slow an investigation down for weeks or even months. A third theory, and this is purely speculative, is that Kiera wasn't the intended target.
Yeah. That's what I don't know, but I feel like that too. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I feel like that third one is she wasn't the intended target, and yeah, fuck that.
Shootings that happen in crowded public spaces don't always start with the person who ends up being killed.
Yeah, especially in Kansas City, you niggas shoot like y'all blindfolded anyway. Just niggas don't even. This how niggas shoot in the town. You don't even aim or you know how you gotta hit them with the this is America. You niggas be out there doing the shabaka and some shit. Just the fuck, nigga. You niggas don't even need guns, man.
Stray gunfire, crossfire between other people, disputes that have nothing to do with the eventual victim. We don't have any evidence confirming this is what happened to Kiera, but it's a pattern that shows up often enough in cases like this that it has to be considered. What do you think? Does the setting, a crowded parking lot in the middle of the night, feel more like a targeted act or something that spiraled out of control between other people entirely? There's a fourth angle some people following this case online have raised, though it's worth stressing right away that this one sits even further into speculation than the others. Because Kiera had a public online presence, some have wondered whether her visibility played any role in what happened that night. Was there any connection between her online life and the people in that parking lot? As of now, there is absolutely nothing in the official record suggesting that. Police have not indicated any link between her social media presence and the shooting itself. It's mentioned here only because it's a theory that circulates in cases involving public figures, and it's important to address it directly and clearly rule it out as unsupported, rather than let it linger unanswered in the comment section. What we're left with, then, is a fairly narrow set of confirmed facts surrounded by a much wider set of open questions. That gap is often where true crime cases live for months, sometimes years, before anything solid emerges. It's frustrating for viewers, it's frustrating for investigators, and most of all, it's an ongoing wait for a family that just wants to understand.
They went through all her Facebook pictures and stuff and grabbed all the photos.
What
I
happened?
wonder how do people feel about that? Like people just go snatch your shit. I know how to snatch some nigga shit though, so I guess I don't really care. But when it comes to certain situations, motherfuckers might be like, "Are we gonna go take my cousin's photo, nigga? Weird ass nigga." You know what I'm saying? Like shit. But I don't know. Let me play the video.
To their daughter. It's also important to place this case in a wider context because Kiera's death didn't happen in isolation. It happened during a stretch that community leaders in Kansas City described as unusually violent, with 4 homicides reported within just a few days of each other. Rosalind Temple, a longtime advocate with the group Mothers in Charge, has spent almost 17 years responding to homicide scenes in the city, ever since her own son's case went unsolved. She spoke publicly after Kiera's death, saying that arguments are currently the leading factor behind Kansas City's homicides, accounting for 37 of the city's 75 homicides so far in 2026. She also made a direct appeal to anyone involved, saying the community knows who they are and urging them to come forward within a short window of time. That statement tells you something about the pattern investigators and advocates are seeing on the ground, even if it doesn't tell us anything specific about what happened to Kiera. that night. It's a reminder that cases like hers rarely exist in a vacuum.
Mm.
They're part of a larger, ongoing conversation in cities across the country about gun violence, about witnesses who stay silent, and about grieving families who are left waiting for answers that may or may not ever come. There's another layer to this story worth considering, and that's the role Kiera's online presence played in how the public learned about her death. Because she had built a genuine following, news of her killing spread quickly,
Yeah.
not just through local news outlets, but through social media itself, the same platform where she built her identity as key to the city. That created a strange dynamic. Her fans, followers, and friends were mourning her in real time, publicly, on the same feeds where she used to post. It's worth asking whether that kind of public grief helps or hurts an active investigation. On one hand, it can generate tips and pressure on witnesses to come forward. On the other, it can also spread misinformation quickly, something her family and local reporters have specifically warned against, urging people to rely only on verified statements rather than online speculation. This is actually a recurring theme in cases involving people with any kind of public platform. The moment someone recognizable is killed, the internet tends to move faster than the investigation itself.
Yeah.
Theories form within hours. Screenshots circulate. People who never met the victim start speaking with a confidence that outpaces what's actually been confirmed. That's not necessarily malicious.
I haven't seen any like theories or anything, or anybody saying like, any kind of anything about what happened. To be honest, I don't be tapped into shit. You feel me? Like I don't be. So I just say this, and I'm like, damn, this is kind of intriguing. But I haven't seen any kind of like any kind of thing online where I seen that they everybody went to her funeral and stuff like that. I see people posting against stuff that people might be saying, but I'm not seeing what they posting against. I'll be like, you motherfuckers is weird. Y'all need to keep what I'm saying, shit like that. But I ain't really seeing like no post about her, like any kind of nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of sad that that's what it is, man. And it's just sad.
It's often just grief looking for somewhere to go, and speculation filling the silence that an active investigation naturally creates. But it does mean that as viewers and as a community trying to understand a case like this responsibly, we have to be deliberate about separating what a family has said, what police have confirmed, and what's simply been repeated enough times online that it starts to feel true. That's part of why outlets covering Kiera's story have been careful to note that no official cause of death details beyond the gunshot wounds have been released. No suspect description has been made public, and no arrests have occurred. Everything else at this stage remains part of an active and ongoing homicide investigation. So where does that leave us? We know Kiera McGee was a well-known, well-loved figure in Kansas City's online community. Someone with a genuine impact that surprised even her own mother. We know she was headed to celebrate with a friend when her night ended in a parking lot surrounded by strangers in the dark before 4 a.m. We know that despite dozens of potential witnesses, this case remains unsolved, with no confirmed suspect and no publicly released motive.
Well, this is Kansas City, so she gave 4 points. The fifth point is the nigga probably, or whoever done it could probably, street justice could have probably already taken place, right? He's not probably going to make it to the courts or get found, right? So sometimes it happens like that. So that's the fifth thing. The fifth one is the suspect is probably dead. This is Kansas City. You feel me? She was definitely appreciated throughout the town from what I've seen from people reposting her and the amount of emotion that she's definitely causing. But whoever did this you've done a pretty decent job just kind of going over it and giving her the kind of shine. So I think this is dope though. It's the second one she did too. We're gonna check that one out after this one though. So I don't know what it is. I ain't even seen these yet. I just seen them now. I was like, damn, I'm gonna stream about this shit too.
What we don't know may end up being just as important as what we do. We don't know why the shooting started. We don't know whether Kiera was targeted or caught in something larger than herself. We don't know why, with so many people reportedly present, more information hasn't come forward. And we don't know if the answers those dozens of witnesses are holding onto will ever make their way to detectives. Could investigators have overlooked something important in those early hours when the scene was still chaotic and people were scattering in every direction?
They don't give a fuck. I hate to say, well, I don't hate to say it, but the reality of the matter is Like I said, they don't care. And you call the police, they put your ass on hold now, nigga. I've never in my long time of living got put on hold by the cops when you dial 911. Nigga, I swear to Bob, they put, nigga, you'll get a voicemail in this motherfucker. I was joking about the earlier time when I said that they used the playing voicemail. Hello? Yeah, I need help. Is this the police? Hello? Yeah, hello, I'm calling the cops. Can you hear me? Yo, you reached the voicemail of 911. Please call us back and leave. You know what I'm saying? But it's damn near like that. They might as well. I think they make you call them back type shit. Like yeah, it's kind of wild with the cops now. When you call that motherfucker, they'll leave your ass on hold. They'll be like, hey.
It's a fair question to ask, even without an answer. Cases like this stay open not because investigators stop looking, but because somebody somewhere is choosing to stay silent. If you have any information about what happened to Kiera McGee, Kansas City police are asking you to contact homicide detectives directly or reach out anonymously through the TIPS hotline. Sometimes the smallest detail, a partial license plate, a face someone recognized, a conversation overheard before the shots were fired, is the piece that finally moves a case forward. I want to hear from you. What do you think happened in that parking lot? Do you think this was random or something more deliberate? Let me know respectfully in the comments below. If you found this analysis informative, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Real True Crime Analysis, and turn on notifications so you never miss another investigation.
We ain't gonna do all that, but we about to see your other one. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. What really happened? Let's see what she.
The difference between texting, talking, being cool, nigga. Y'all did not used to talk to me.
She just put this one out like 2 days ago or 12 days ago. Hold on. Was this the one we just watched? Let me make sure. It was what really happened and who did it. Yeah, so we just watched who did it 2 weeks ago. This one was 12 days ago. So.
The difference between texting, talking, being cool, nigga. Y'all did not used to talk to me. Stop saying that. Niggas didn't even used to text me. Is y'all cool? Like, stop saying that. Stop saying that. I never used to talk to you niggas.
Everybody say she was the key. And I didn't realize how much this city loves my daughter. I've been getting calls all over. Vegas, Detroit, St. Louis, just New York.
That's where the
And I didn't realize.
I don't want to watch her
witnesses.
like that.
Dozens of witnesses, one shooter, 0 arrests. That's where the Kiera McGee case stands right now. And the more you look at those numbers, the less they add up. Today we're going back into her murder, because the deeper you look at this case, the stranger that silence becomes.
Look at her. She doing her motherfucking deep dive, y'all. Let's buckle up. Let's see what she talking about.
Quick ask before we get into it. If you're back here for round 2 on this case, that tells me you want to see it solved as much as I do. So do me a favor, hit like, drop a comment, and if you haven't already,
I'm gonna tell everybody else too, though. Make sure y'all go tap in. It's the Real True Crime Analyst. I know the ladies love shit like this too. So, ladies, if y'all seen this, got y'all Real True Crimes channel. Make sure y'all go tap in with her. She is definitely doing her due diligence. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna hit sub too. Fuck it. Why not? All right.
subscribe to Real True Crime Analysis and turn on notifications. It costs you nothing, and it genuinely helps push this case in front of more eyes. Now let's get back into it. Let's start with the timeline, because laying it out in order is where those numbers actually start to take shape and where the first real questions start to surface. It was early Sunday morning, August 2nd, 2026. Officers were called to the area of Van Brunt and Independence Avenue just before 4 a.m. after reports of a shooting. That's the official time on record, not sometime that night, not in the early morning hours in some vague sense, just before 4 a.m. Here's something that doesn't get enough attention when this case is discussed. A Jackson County Sheriff's deputy happened to be nearby when the gunfire started, not dispatched, not responding to a call, just physically close enough to hear it happen in real time. That deputy got to the scene before other first responders did. Think about what that means. Law enforcement was essentially arriving as the incident was still unfolding, or in its immediate aftermath, faster than a 911 call could have been placed and processed. And even with that kind of response time, even with someone that close, nobody has been arrested. When officers arrived, they found Kiera unresponsive in the parking lot of an O'Reilly Auto Parts store. EMS was called to the scene. She was pronounced deceased. Kansas City police said their initial investigation indicates she had been in that parking lot with an unknown number of other people when one or more suspects began shooting. I want you to notice that language again because it's official police wording, not my interpretation. One or more suspects, days after the shooting, with a deputy who arrived almost instantly.
But I think they just be saying that too because they don't necessarily know, so they just don't want to say one and say that with confidence, right? So they just say one or more, like because it could be more. We don't know, but it's at least one, or it could be more. So I don't think they necessarily said that to make it say it's a sense if it was more than one person shooting, but they just said if it was more than one, then it was at least one or more, and if it come to be that, that's what it is.
Investigators still hadn't narrowed that down publicly to a single person.
Yeah.
Detectives believe as many.
They can't if they don't know, right? So they can't say it was a single person, but they can leave that window open to kind of say it was at least one person, right? But it could be more.
As a few dozen people were present when the shots were fired. A few dozen in a parking lot at 4 a.m. That's not a stray passerby catching a glimpse from a distance. That's a group of people who were close enough to see, hear, and likely know exactly what triggered the gunfire. And according to police, they are still looking to talk to anyone who heard or saw something. Still looking, days later, with dozens of potential witnesses. Does that strike you as unusual? A few dozen people, a police response measured in seconds rather than minutes, and still, no suspect information has been released. That gap between how many people were there and how little has been said publicly is really where this case starts to get uncomfortable. And it's exactly where we're picking things up. Because in most cases with this many people present, you'd expect at least a partial description to leak out within a day or two, even informally.
She must not be from Kansas City. Definitely. No, you don't expect that shit. What do you mean? No. Hell no. You know ain't nobody about to say nothing. The cops got to do their goddamn due diligence, man. They got to go comb through all that shit. But like I said, for the most part, they don't really care. Right? It's like, oh. And I'm pretty sure somebody there talked to the police. I can't picture her being with some other ladies that night and not one of them ladies saying something to the police. Now, maybe what they said wasn't valuable information, but I can't imagine that someone that loved her and they was there calling her mama, because that's what she said in the last one. I hope that ain't true, but they're calling her mama and showing her on the camera, in the state that she was in. But y'all don't talk to the police and be like, oh man, they was, at least give the story of what took place that night, right? They might not be able to say, oh, it was dude or it was such and such, it was cuz, but they might have been like, man, they was out here, niggas start arguing and shit, then they just start shooting it. You know what I'm saying? So might not be valuable information, but I can't see nobody that was out there didn't talk to the police. I don't know. That would not add up. But they, as the police do, they don't really reveal a lot of information, especially when they don't have strong leads, because the little lead that they may have, they feel like it'll fuck up they shit or may leaks. I don't know. I just be watching these shits too, these crime stories, just be watching on the first 48s and shit. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know.
The fact that nothing concrete has surfaced publicly days later tells us this case is more complicated than the basic facts suggest on the surface. So why would a crowd that large stay this quiet? Let's actually break that down because it's the central mystery of this entire case right now.
That's not a fucking mystery, girl. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cuss at you, lady, but it's Kansas City, Missouri. Like, no. We trying to denounce the name Killer City now. You feel me? Like, we trying to get rid of this. But no, it's not. It's definitely not a mystery when shit go down in the hood that people don't speak up or talk. Like, that's what the culture is, unfortunately.
And there isn't just one obvious answer. The most straightforward explanation is fear. If you were standing in that parking lot when shots rang out.
Yeah, fear is definitely the most obvious answer. For sure.
and you saw who pulled the trigger. Coming forward means putting your name on a homicide investigation involving someone who has already shown they're willing to shoot in a crowd. That's not a small ask. In cities dealing with high rates of gun violence, this pattern shows up again and again. People know things. They just don't say them. Not because they don't care, but because speaking up can feel like it puts a target on their own back. Detectives publicly saying they still need witnesses to come forward tells us this fear factor is very likely part of what's happening here.
I don't get it. It has to be some cameras out there. You feel me? Like, got to be some kind of visuals out there, man. You right there on a busy street and a pretty busy intersection.
Even though no one has confirmed that explicitly. Think about the position those dozens of people are in right now. Whatever happened in that parking lot, they were close enough to it that police still consider them potential sources of critical information days after the fact. That's not a passive detail. That's investigators openly saying the answer to this case is probably already sitting in someone's memory, maybe in someone's phone, and it just hasn't reached them yet. And that raises another question worth asking out loud. Is it fear of the shooter specifically, or is it a broader hesitation people in certain neighborhoods have about engaging with police at all, regardless of who's involved?
Yeah, that too. Definitely. Don't nobody want to be known as the snitch. Nigga, I'm not about to talk to the cops. You gonna talk to the cops, nigga. No, you do it. You just gonna do it anonymously. Can I anonymously, you know how anonymously? But nah, for sure. Don't nobody want to talk to the police. Ain't nobody trying to be talking to the cops. Unfortunately, like I said, that's the main thing. Don't nobody want to be the snitch, right? We don't want to be the tattletale. That's just the way the culture goes. But I ain't with the street shit. Like, I ain't a street nigga. Like, I grew up in the streets. I was homeless, so I'm like literally a street nigga, but I'm not a street nigga in the sense of just with dumb with street shit. You go call it dumb shit, but then just call it street shit. And so I look at this like, this nigga done some dumb shit. Whoever killed this young lady more than likely was not trying to kill this young lady. You accidentally murdered somebody because you was on some stupid shit. You need to go to jail. You need your ass whooped, or you need to get, they say the Old Testament is dead, but sometimes it be feeling like it's an eye for an eye. But that's my thought. Like, so I ain't saying it's got to be y'all thoughts, but I'm just saying for me personally, with him doing that dumb shit, like, that's the codes we need to kind of change. And like certain things, like, okay, you don't need to snitch on that. You niggas is criminals. Y'all both out there robbing banks together. No, don't snitch. If you niggas you snitch on him, then you definitely need your lips cut off because y'all both was out there criminally acting together. But if you out here shooting innocent kids and women and just shoot like this, you know what I'm saying? You don't even got like, niggas don't even, man, this is America. No, the niggas just be no. That's why I got the switch. That's why you niggas carry switches, because y'all don't know how to shoot. They just, you feel me? Like, they can't hit their target. They got to shoot 1,000 bullets to hit that nigga one time, and then that person that they hit is gonna be the wrong person. The fuck, you know what I'm saying? It's like, the fuck. Now y'all, so me personally, this situation, man, y'all niggas need to be snitching. Like, snitching goes west. Like, you need to, nigga, or if the situation got handled, then that's what it is. I don't know. I'm just saying. I just know it's two ways that people hold court. Not like the podcast, but I'm just saying, like, we hold court. They hold court in the streets, or you hold court in the court. In Kansas City, 85% of the time it's probably gonna be held in the streets before it make it to the court system. So, but hopefully, something takes place.
We don't know the answer, and it's important we don't pretend we do. But it's a distinction that matters because the reasons people stay silent shape how an investigation like this eventually gets solved, if it gets solved at all. Then there's the possibility of simple chaos. When gunfire erupts in a crowd, people don't calmly observe what's happening. They run, they duck, they pull out their phones, or they drop them and scatter. In that kind of moment, most people aren't tracking details clearly enough to give police something usable. Someone might remember a jacket, a direction, a sound, but not a face. Multiply that uncertainty across dozens of people, and you can end up with a lot of witnesses who technically saw something, but nothing concrete enough to build a case around.
Yeah.
And there's a practical side to this too. A dark parking lot at 4 in the morning isn't exactly ideal conditions for reliable eyewitness accounts to
Bacala parking lot ain't dark at night. Everybody that was out there seeing what the fuck happened, if they was paying attention. So I don't know. She can't be from KC. I do appreciate her breaking this shit down like she do. Hey, Miss Lady, if you see this, you're doing a wonderful job. Hey, keep doing your thing. Keep breaking this. Keep free thinking, critical thinking, analytically thinking, all of that. Keep doing this. But Bacala is not that dark out there. It's lights out there. They said pretty much there's got the Mexican food truck out there. It's popping out there. You got the fire station right across the street lights. It's bright as hell out there in front of Bacala.
begin with. Add gunfire, panic, and people who may have been arriving from elsewhere in the night, possibly not in the clearest headspace.
It was 4 a.m. When nobody arriving nowhere. They was leaving. You feel me? They wasn't arriving. It's 4 a.m. It's Kansas City. She like I said, she don't know. I'm just putting a little bit of, I'm helping your shit right now. Yeah, no, when nobody arriving. It was everybody leaving. You know, parlay and parking lot pimping. You know how we do it. You got to parlay and parking lot pimp for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You got to parlay parking lot pimp, man.
And you start to understand why investigators are leaning so heavily on physical evidence and surveillance footage alongside witness statements. Police have said they searched the area for surveillance video while processing the scene. Whether any camera actually captured the moment shots were fired.
The fuck you mean weather? Hold on, let me run that back. I didn't catch that. I gotta hear that again because that didn't register with me.
The area for surveillance video while processing the scene. Whether any camera actually captured the moment shots were fired. Whether it was clear enough to identify anyone, and whether it's led investigators anywhere, hasn't been made public. That's another gap in the timeline we simply can't fill in with anything other than speculation. So we won't pretend otherwise.
Right.
A third theory, and I want to stress this is still just a theory, is that Kiera wasn't necessarily the person the shooter was aiming for. In cases involving crowded, chaotic scenes, it's not unusual for someone to be caught in gunfire meant for somebody else entirely. Nothing in the official reporting has confirmed that this is what happened here. But it's a pattern true crime cases like this one raise often enough that it has to be part of the conversation. What do you think? Does a shooting like this, in a packed lot, in the pitch dark, feel more like it was aimed specifically at Kiera? Or does it feel like she was caught in the middle of something bigger than her? There's also the matter of her family's account of that night, which adds another layer worth sitting with. According to her parents, Kiera was on her way to a friend's birthday party when she was caught in the gunfire. Her mother, Belinda, had spoken with her just hours earlier over FaceTime. Kiera was excited, showing off her outfit, telling her mom she was headed out to celebrate with a friend. That detail matters because it tells us this wasn't someone already embedded in a volatile situation when the night began. She was on her way somewhere. Whether that destination and the parking lot where she died were connected, or whether she simply ended up in the wrong place during someone else's conflict, is still an open question police haven't answered publicly. It's worth pausing on just how ordinary that FaceTime call was. A daughter excitedly showing her mom an outfit before a night out is about as normal and unremarkable as a moment can get. There's no warning sign in it, no indication anything was wrong, nothing that, in hindsight, points to danger. That's often one of the hardest parts of cases like this for families and for viewers to sit with. There wasn't a red flag. There wasn't a moment where, looking back, someone could have said something felt off. It was a regular Saturday night that turned into a homicide investigation within a matter of hours, and that gap between the mundane and the tragic is part of what makes this case resonate with so many people who've never met Kiera or her family. Her mother has also said that when she arrived at the scene herself, she didn't see an ambulance present and didn't see one the whole time she was there. We should be careful with this detail. Grieving family members recalling a chaotic scene aren't always going to have a timeline that matches official records exactly, and there could be a straightforward explanation investigators simply haven't laid out publicly. But it's the kind of...
Hold on, they said when no ambulance that came the whole time? I don't know. She said, "I'd be careful with it." I don't know, but that's how the shit go, man. That's how they treat the hood, man. That's how they treat us. You feel me? We it is what it is when it comes to that shit. But I don't know. She ain't giving no new information in the last video, pretty much though.
Thing a mother remembers, and it's the kind of thing that, fair or not, adds another unanswered question to a case that already has plenty of them. Community reaction to this case has been loud, and it hasn't been quiet about demanding accountability. Rosalind Temple, a longtime advocate with the group Mothers in Charge, has spent close to 17 years responding to homicide scenes across Kansas City, work she began after her own son's case went unsolved. She spoke out after Kiara's death, and she didn't hold back. She pointed to numbers showing that arguments are currently the leading factor behind homicides in Kansas City, accounting for...
Why'd you give us the same video twice, lady?
Police statement. That's a grieving community's advocate, speaking with the kind of urgency that tells you people are watching this case closely, even if the official investigation hasn't produced a name yet. It also tells you something important about the broader picture in Kansas City this year.
What's that?
Kiara's death didn't happen in isolation. It happened during a period community leaders have openly described as unusually violent, with
Nah, she gave us the same video twice. I feel robbed.
planned killings. On the other hand, she's speaking to whoever was responsible as though the community already has a fairly good idea of who that is.
Oh, hold on. All right.
Moment violence rather than premeditated, carefully planned killing. Pointing to a statistic, arguments driving well over a third of this year's homicides. That suggests a pattern of impulsive, in the moment violence rather than premeditated, carefully planned killings. On the other hand, she's speaking to whoever was responsible as though the community already has a fairly good idea of who that is, which suggests word may be circulating on the ground, even if it hasn't reached investigators or hasn't been confirmed publicly. Those two things, an impulsive argument-driven shooting and a community that already suspects who's responsible, aren't necessarily contradictory. But they do raise the question of just how much unofficial knowledge exists in Kansas City right now that simply hasn't crossed over into an actual arrest. So let's bring this back to what we actually know, separate from everything we don't. We know Kiara McGee was shot and killed in a parking lot just before 4 in the morning on August 2nd. We know a sheriff's deputy was close enough to respond almost instantly. We know a few dozen people were reportedly present. We know police still haven't released a suspect description, a motive, or made an arrest. We know her family says she was simply on her way to celebrate with a friend that night. What we don't know is arguably more important. We don't know why the shooting happened. We don't know if Kiara was targeted or caught in something that had nothing to do with her. We don't know why so many potential witnesses haven't come forward, whether that's fear, confusion, or something else entirely.
He probably dead.
And we don't know if the kind of dispute Rosalind Temple referenced, the kind that's fueling more than a third of this year's homicides in Kansas City, was somehow connected to what happened that night. Could investigators be sitting on more information than they've made public, deliberately holding details back to protect the integrity of the case? It's possible. It's also possible they simply don't have enough yet to move forward. Either way, the silence from that parking lot full of people is the loudest unanswered question in this entire investigation.
No, it's not.
It's also worth remembering that investigations like this one rarely move in a straight line. Sometimes a case sits quiet for weeks with no visible progress from the outside, and then a single tip, a piece of surveillance footage, or a witness who finally decides to talk changes everything within days. There's no way to predict which direction this one goes. What we can say with confidence is that the fundamentals of a solvable case are there. A specific time, a specific location, a crowd of people who were close enough to see something. That's more than a lot of cold cases ever start with. And it's part of why this one continues to generate so much attention and discussion, both here in Kansas City and among people following it from far outside the city entirely. If you know anything about what happened to Kiara McGee that night, Kansas City police are asking you to reach out to homicide detectives directly or contact the TIPS hotline anonymously. Somewhere among those dozens of people who were standing in that lot is the detail that finally moves this case forward. I want to hear from you again on this one. Do you think this was random? Or do you think Kiara was specifically targeted?
Man, I think it was random. But I don't know. I would think it was random because I don't know if she was beefing with nobody necessarily or anything, but she wanted out. I don't know who this lady is, but man, check out the Real True Crime Analyst. She seemed like she do her research a little bit, and she did give us 2 videos of the same thing. She just kind of milked it because I think Kansas City turned her up. Look, I think that's her highest graded video. So she said that she got a lot of views off of that. She said, I gotta run that bitch back one time, y'all. I gotta run that shit back. Yeah, that's her highest rated video, her highest viewed video. Yeah, most popular is gonna be Key. Look, Key got her highest viewed video. Dream Doll briefcase, new evidence reveals what happened before the daily ambush. What happened with Dream Doll? Dream Doll and AJ guys made 3 stops that night. And once that changed everything. What happened to Dream Doll? I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. But yeah, go follow her, go tap in with her. Man, let's get to this Jaila shit. All right, before we can get to the Jaila shit, I gotta get to the Facebook shit. So I can make sure I give a proper build up. So let's jump to the book. Hold on. We got C-Dub on here. Hold on. Damn, this post caused a whole bunch of old men hating on me saying this shit. This was not to brag. It's my observation is man, I'm my retirement. You niggas go hate on shit until your last breath, I guess. Kind of upset because technically. He said, damn, this post caused a whole bunch of them old, and he put me in. Let me go look and see who was hating in the comments. Let's go look. Y'all know we gotta go to the comment section, right? I'm sorry. We're gonna get to Jaila real quick. I just seen what we talking about. He said, you got that tism or something? Autism? Nah, you gotta finish this shit. Just do your shit. Fuck a awkward number. I ain't ready, blood. Cook up. Nigga, hush and keep going. I already sent you another one. Knock it out. Ain't nobody even forcing you to retire, huh, nigga? Do it, fucking make it retirement goal. 200, it ain't far. We going past 200. Nah, nigga, finish that shit. Never quit. I don't see no old man hating on you. See the he trying to get me to go 95 plus. Where you get the 95 number from? Had to tag you. Had to tag you. Hold on. Let's see what Rap Cat's over here stirring up, man. What the fuck? See, this is how we get to the bottom of this shit. You feel me? Hold on. Oh shit, he didn't shit. We go get into that. We getting into that. TikTok. This one, he must be on TikTok. I don't be on TikTok. Kansas City versus everybody Sunday to go. Okay. Another day at the office. Tech9 says fans claim his old music was better or talking bullshit. Tech says fans claim his old music was automatically better or talking bullshit. Tech has been making music professionally for decades. I don't know. We ain't gonna get into that right now. We'll worry about that later. He said he had to tag him. I guess he ain't tagged him on this shit. DJ Doug. I remember this. Willow did have it going too. That's crazy. DR was DR one of the biggest labels coming out of Kansas City under like Strange and Major Factor Records. I think. That might be a question for another day. Definitely. All right, let's go. Let's go to E motherfucking 16 before I take my motherfucking old ass to sleep on you niggas. This is a late stream. I usually don't stream this late. It's the only thing I see. This the only thing I see about Ryan. Oh, that's Bang sharing that shit. Excuse me. Oh fuck. Before I go here, I gotta go to Jaila shit. So hopefully she ain't take it down. I hope I know how to spell her name. How the fuck do I spell Jaila's name? Let me see. I gotta go in here and take it from here or something. Okay, there we go. She ain't even got it as Jaila. She got it as Jai. All right. Oh shit, excuse me, y'all. Yeah, y'all know my answers. Oh, this is 11:30. I should have been in bed. But I said, man, fuck it. I got to stream. I ain't streaming in a few days. So, um, yeah, I'm sorry. I know everybody attended the funeral and stuff. I just seen that video. I was like, man, that'd be something to check out. Man, rest in peace to that lady. And like I said, again, condolences to all their families. All right, let's get into the fuckery. Oh man, my nose is going up. So where's she at? I know she ain't taking it down. Did she take it down? Jaila, don't tell me you ain't standing on 10 right now. Man, most of y'all really. Yeah, she didn't delete it. Or maybe did I pass it, y'all? Maybe I can't read. Let me go back up and see. It's funny what's that? Okay, yeah, it was before this. It says someone comes in just see the movie forward. Oh man, Jaila done deleted the post, man. All right, so I gotta give a backstory on the shit. And I don't really like. I just okay. No, here we go. I did. Like I said, I probably can't read. So yeah, Jalen popped out a day ago, and she tagged Sean Walker and Tierra Big Bag YOLO Dixon or any other female trying to get in that ring and box. It's too much hate in y'all hearts for y'all not to. I was like, wow, Jayla? Then hold on, let me clean my eyes out, make sure I'm a little sleepy, but I'm like, what? Oh shit, she mean business. I was standing on business. So I'm like, oh shit, Jayla then popped out talking about she ready to smack a bit. I don't know. I fuck with Jayla. I don't know what she saying to Jayla. She said, see, Jayla, I'm grown as fuck. But why did she say something? She didn't even, I guess, oh, she had to be feeling some kind of way because she said any other female. So she popped out. Jayla, she shit. It sounded like let me read. She said, see, Jayla, I'm grown as fuck and I don't play little girl games. Listen, you deleted me off Facebook for telling me, oh yeah, she on some shit too. Your man ain't your friend. And I say, I pray to God you actually don't listen. She tried to tell him to get away from Will. She love him. I don't know. I ain't about to read all that shit. But it seemed like she was responding to any other female posts. Let's see what the comments say. Clout chaser, I unfriended you. Oh shit, she came and clapped right back. Oh shit, Jayla Jayla want all the smoke right now. Cause you need to hear it. The fuck laugh my ass out. Go the fuck off though. Why are you talking to me when we not friends? Hey, please leave me alone, like for real, Tish. I'm telling you this because I fucking care, Jayla. Hold on, what? You literally mad at the wrong motherfucker. I said what I said, and I ain't taking it back. Oh shit, man. Why did we get invited to the group chat today, my nigga? What the fuck? But we're gonna talk about it. She like, Tish, I'm about to block you. Stop talking to me. She said Monday, Sunday, happy days. What the fuck? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, every day of the week. Oh no, that's the Tierra chick. Hold on, did she call? Hold on, I'm lost. Time. Is Tisha an idiot or Jayla? Monday, Sunday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day of the week, an idiot. So this is the chick, I guess, Jayla said she want to box. Ladies, y'all don't need to be fighting, man. For real, for real. I don't want to see ladies fighting, man. Y'all don't. I know Jaila, she jumped out the window for Will. But man, what man in the world wouldn't want a woman that's gonna be ready to fucking have his back every chance that she fucking get? Like, what nigga don't want that? I think niggas is probably jealous, to be honest. Cause I be looking at Jaila like, damn, Jaila, you a motherfucker down ass girl. Cause we gonna get into the interview. She right there, nigga. She down, like, you feel me? She like, I ain't gonna let no bitch talk crazy to my nigga. Facts. I don't disagree with that. You better, nigga. I don't disagree with that. I fucking find that fucking commendable. Some commendable shit. Look at Tia. I guess she popping out the window for her dude too. You feel me? So that's commendable. I mean, but it does look like these two about to go back and forth. And I feel like if y'all really do, like, make it lucrative, let them, I know they be like, I don't want to eat with these niggas. But shit, make it make sense. You feel me? Make it make sense. You feel me? So let's get back in these comments. Some love. This is a lot of back and forth for motherfuckers that literally know where the other be at every day. Definitely a good read though. Hold on, who is the Summer Love bit? Girl, I don't know you. I'm still on your mind. I'm not doing this shit for sport. I'm not doing it for fun. I'm not doing it for no other reason than to fuck you up. Not trying to get in the ring. I want you bare knuckle, no gloves, no rules. This ain't no game. I want you in the middle of the street now. Leave me alone, bitch. You're 220. I'm 143. You damn near 100 out of my weight class. Fucking humongous. Unlike you, I'm busy taking care of my kids today. School is Monday. Don't forget. Jayla don't got no kids. So you can call the police like you did after you got beat up at your post. God damn, hold on, man. I feel like I'm about to get into the fucking Rico with you niggas, man. What the fuck going on with this shit, dog? Y'all niggas out here tripping, girl. I said what I said. If you can't arrange that, then leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Who called the popo when you spilled her coke, though? Were they rhyming in this motherfucker? Who called the popo when you spilled her coke, though? What? Bars! Like, what's going on? She called the police when who spilled who Coca-Cola Classic? Like they spilled the Coke over and there was a cup and it felt and you had to wipe the shit up. Or you talking about the sugar booger? You talking about the sugar booger. Oh shit. Why did we get invited to the group chat? That's all I want to know. All right, but we gonna get into it. Let's keep it rolling. But since no gloves, what time? But since no gloves, what time you want to box? I'll pull up right now on Vine. Oh shit. Oh, I hit him with the sad face. I was about to say, who sad faced it? Because that's some shit I do, and it's me. I was about to say, who hit him with the sad face? Nigga, I did. Oh, shit. Okay, let me keep it going. Pull the fuck up now, please, on my kids and everything on God, green earth. I dare you. I thought it'd be good. Nah, see, we don't need to be in a group chat, Ricky, man. There, you took that fade faster than yo, dude. This is getting messy, y'all. This want attention like her bitch Will. She called Will the bitch. It's crazy. She can have it. First her nigga, but a bitch left on mine. She wanna be like her nigga. It's crazy. All right. I definitely want the streets so I can bang your motherfucking head. I guess every which way. I ain't your girlfriend. All right. Y'all here talking this. I will dog you. You talking. I ain't doing this net banging. Well, you just type the whole paragraphs. I don't know. I'm about to get out of the fucking group chat. Look at Rilla eating popcorn and shit. Look. I'm Rilla Dilla. I'm in this big too. You feel me? Shout out to Rilla, man. Damn, I had to read the post all the way. No, I can't read all this shit. Nah, that's some gangster shit. Now that's some gangster shit right there. Calling bitches out. Now this is what? Oh, hold on. We got 41. Let's get. You sound like a whole bitch right now. Why does he sound like a bitch? Because he said it's gangster shit. I guess he said calling bitches out. Yeah. And if that bitch, oh, I didn't even read the rest of it. He said, if that bitch Tierra husband want to fight, then I'll get in there and whoop his ass for you for threatening me yesterday. Whoa. Hey, Malcolm, I don't know who you are, bro, but she got a whole man to fight for her. Don't do, he got it. Don't, you try to jump out the window for no reason, my nigga. She got a whole nigga. He got it. Man, what the fuck? If you don't shut your dyke ass up. I was talking about the niggas thought he was scaring somebody because I called his disrespectful woman up. And I hope she kick your butch looking ass too. Bitch, suck my. I'll change you back. Huh? Oh, that's him. Okay, I'm slow right now. I'm reading comments. I thought that was Deshaun Walker saying suck my dick. I'll change you back. And if I don't give a fuck if you trying to hide your titties. I'll stick this dick right down your esophagus. The fuck are we reading on your page, Jalen? Man, we gotta get us out the group chat right now, y'all. Get us the fuck out of the group chat right now, today, nigga. Fuck up. What the fuck is going on? Whoever erased my messages. All right, we gotta get on this. This is 43. This is weird. I'm really trying to figure out dude's whole motive for saying all of this. It's very strange energy for heterosexual. I'm call him homosexual, heterosexual man to have this kind of smoke for a masculine presenting woman or woman. Period. The whole exchange is unsettling. I'm lost. I think he just trolling her for real. And it's a female, so she must be. I don't know who Sean Walker is personally. Laugh my fucking ass off, girl. I'm trying to figure it out. If you're like cracking a fuck, I don't know what y'all talking about in this shit. You don't see how bitch made you are sounding right now. You look like you bend over, you ashy booty bitch. What the fuck? I can't keep reading this shit. Y'all crazy. Damn, he typed out a whole book. How do you? And she laughing at everyone. How do you know what tax bracket I'm in? You can't be doing too much dressing like a boy promoting little kids events and stop deflecting, you pervert. Your perverted thoughts on me. Why is it always man, he going too tough, man. I ain't about to get into they having the whole it's just these motherfuckers talking in the chat. AKA Will Cat Will Slap. This is the reason why you spill. All right, so I'm getting out the group chat. But I wanted to see what the hell was going on. So Jaila said she wanted the box and shit. That's what I'm about to get into. Now let's go to this fucking interview, man. Let's get to the fucking meat and bones and the potatoes and the grits of this shit. All right, let's go.
It's been a minute since we done this.
Man, it's
And of course it would be E16 ass. Boy, that's my guy. He talking about I'm banned from the motherfucking show. I bet you I'll be in that motherfucker next week. Kicking up in that motherfucker. Like, nigga, how y'all, bitch?
it's been
It's been a minute, man. You know, you one of my favorite people to interview.
Am I really?
Yeah, no, you was my favorite interview.
We probably ain't gonna get through this whole 2 hours, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know that now. We probably get about 30 minutes of this shit. Maybe. But we can come back and double back on it. But I want to kind of see what Jaila talking about in this interview. See if she making some good points or not, man. I watched a little bit of the back end. I ain't really got to watch the front end, so get some good live reaction.
With all the interviews I did, you was the best one I ever did.
That's a lie, nigga. I was just on your podcast last week, brother. I'm the best No, I'm joking. I was just trying to get my Will Kid on. Nigga, I was the best fucking interview. Nigga, what you mean, cuz? Like, nigga, ain't nobody had an interview better than me, nigga. I've been interviewing, nigga, I've been having the best interviews, nigga, since I grew up off of motherfucking 30, nigga, 5th and nigga, what you talking about?
Favorite.
You're honestly one of the only people I actually like talking to.
That's what's up. No,
a lot of people I don't like talking to.
Now that make me feel like I'm a winner right there, because you be getting on there going crazy.
No, she didn't get a nigga to Jaila. I'm like a winner right there. She fast lane. She hit you with the.
I seen you at the last interview. You was popping your shit. you was popping your shit. I said, okay, Jaila.
I think people just used to me kind of just being quiet,
You read the whole
not
story.
saying much, you know.
They do. They are. We definitely are used to you not entertaining the bullshit.
Yeah.
We're not used to that. So what made the all of a sudden?
Fast lane, man. Get to the messy shit, man. Let's turn these comments on too. See what they're talking about in real time.
Sudden you make this big change? Because one of the people asked on there, why did she all of a sudden become? Why are you all of a sudden in the mess? Because normally you let the shit roll off your shoulder.
Well, I feel like honestly,
I'm sorry. Let me stop y'all back here trying to act like I'm part of Illuminati and shit. Throwing up the signs.
a lot of people that has had something to say recently, I be feeling like wasn't even there. Even though I usually be quiet about it, I'm always there. I'm usually always the person that's hearing it, seeing it, witnessing it for my own self, for my own eyes. So when I see a whole bunch of other people talking about something that they either wasn't there for or completely making up something, you know, the cancer in me, the emotional girl in me definitely want to address shit sometimes.
What I want to know, when did you make the pivotal change? Though,
Why you ain't sleep? Money.
What caused you to just say, man, fuck this? Because Jaila, you normally Jaila, everybody attacks Will. And that Will kind of like, that's Will's life. And you just straddle right along and don't be you in the passenger seat, you the passenger seat princess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't say nothing, you don't get in the shit or nothing. But it seems like lately you've been like in the shit. What made the change? What was the change?
What is the shit that I have gotten into recently?
That's how you know the nigga about to try to spin you. What you been doing? Like you tell me what you think the shit you think I got into, and I'm gonna tell you if that's what it is.
That you want to say. What was the first thing that you would say that you witnessed me getting into? Like where you was like, damn, she's getting into this mess. Why is she into this? What was the first thing that you
time,
say?
If you want to know the truth, and I don't want to bring this up, right? Because we're supposed to be talking about you right now. So I don't really want to get into the mess. But the first time I seen you like go from being the passenger seat princess to where you like start being more boisterous, I saw was the Sunday shit.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what he talking about. What's the Sunday shit? Is he talking about Sunday to go? Something happened with Jaila and Sunday? Man, why ain't I tapped in, man? Why ain't y'all got me tapped in? What happened with Sunday?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's when I saw you like coming out with the voices. You know? Because
that was another situation that was just a flat out lie. And or even to me, to her understanding was just a misunderstanding. Because she read something wrong or she interpreted it wrong. I can't speak for the way she was thinking. But when the truth came out and the fact that whatever she was talking about wasn't in fact that, I addressed that for sure.
I just thought it was crazy you jumped out the window on that. That's crazy, Jaila.
Yeah, because a lot of people would sit there and be talking about stuff. Because let's tap in on that just for a hot second. She stopped liking him because she thought that he shut down a pool party or something like that last summer. And from that moment, it was proven that he didn't have no dealings in that. He didn't put his mouth on that or anything for that pool party to not go into effect the way it should have. But instead of her being like, dang, I was wrong in that issue, but hey, I still don't like the way you say this or that. That would
try not to this or that. Okay. No.
Would have been cool, but instead she still was standing on that, having that type of energy. So I'm like, all right, well, he do have a woman. Definitely, if you're a woman talking to him, he do have a woman.
Okay, so that's your stance is you women attacking him. I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, if it's a woman saying something, I'm like, all right, well, definitely when it starts to get a little too aggressive in certain natures, I'm like, okay, well, why this energy? And honestly, I feel like another thing too, I feel like a lot of people like to, play the side of them not liking Will and then turning around in my face and being like, well, I fuck with you. That just don't work out. You can't sit there and be talking like you don't fuck with him and then turn around and be smiling in my face. That don't work out because 9 out of 10, you're talking shit about me too.
But sometimes, Jaila, people really like you, respect you, and love you. This nigga be talking crazy because you don't talk like that.
Not that she laugh like that. That nigga do. That was a laugh of an omission. Yeah, that nigga do be talking crazy, don't he? She just admitted that. And she like, yeah. That she believe he probably had some wild takes.
You don't do that. And so it's like my energy is really for him. It's not you because I don't feel like you think like that.
And I respectfully understand people being upset about his ways of thinking and all of that. Block him. Delete him. Unfollow him. You could do all these other million.
Jaila, get on here and start cooking like that. What you doing, girl? Who told you? Hey. Nah, facts. I mean, block him. Unfollow him. Delete him. Ask the popper. Bro, block me in 2 seconds. Book him. Do that shit. If y'all don't like it, get it off your timeline. Y'all want to be attached to it because y'all want to try to ride the coattail of the shit. I don't know, but you cook with that one, sis. I ain't gonna lie, you cook with that one.
There's millions of things that you would choose to do, but instead you choose to still listen to it, engage into it, all of the above. But even still then, like I said, I don't.
Do you agree with all the shit that nigga be doing?
I feel like a lot of his reasonings do be valid. I will say that.
She agrees that a lot of his reasons are valid. I'm about to go to bed, y'all.
From a lot of stuff that I've witnessed with a lot of people that I say that he has internet issues with because I don't really feel like it's serious enough to say real life, but just internet issues. I do feel like a lot of stuff that he will say is valid and validated because I've seen a lot of these people snake him when he came to a lot of people with a pure, genuine energy. And I've witnessed that so much dealing with the fact of like him coming to people with a pure energy. I'm like, man, I want to boost this up. I want to help you. I'm not even really looking for nothing. And then the moment that these people ready to smack him in the face, then it's kind of like, y'all mad when he ready to lash out.
So you feel like sometimes people be picking on him? Because you know what?
I feel like we too grown to be trying to say picking, but at the same time, I do feel like
when I say nitpicking at him, do you be feeling like that? Because like my brother's wife said, this is what she said recently, yesterday. She said, I'm watching Will Slap, and he's not being disrespectful to these people. He's actually not even paying these people no attention, and everybody is saying his name. You know what I mean? My sister's like, this is getting out of hand, the way that they attacking him, and he's not saying nothing to these people. So do you be feeling like he's getting bothered with, and you're like, okay, fuck it, let's say something? Like what?
No, I definitely feel like there are things that people do outside of the internet to the point where he is the internet. So when he takes it to the internet, now their feelings are hurt. So
Jaila, you know I love you. He didn't just call Will Kid the internet, though. Man, that little kid is if he is, he like AOL dial up. He ain't this new high speed, 1 gigabyte. We're gonna tell you he the internet too, but I don't think he the internet. But I can't admit people who do, or I'm gonna say try or attempt to capitalize off of using him for content. Yeah, so it's a catch-22.
I won't sit there and say that he didn't say something crazy to you on this internet that might make you feel some type of way. But you can't try to discredit what you did either outside of the internet.
Is that nigga ever wrong? Do you ever think like Will? Do you ever tell him like Will, you wrong for this?
There's plenty of stuff that I'll be like, hey, you shouldn't, because my thing is I know what he be trying to intend to say on certain stuff. So I will be like, hey, you probably shouldn't say it like that. You probably shouldn't do this. You probably shouldn't do that. And then a lot of times he'll be like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna say that and I'm gonna say this because that's how I'm feeling about it. And I'll be like, all right. And 9 out of 10, it'll end up going the fuck up. But what do y'all do is just pushing him up.
So how you feel is normally his intentions are pure. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then it backfired whatever situation he was in. Because I watched Bro get into it with a lot of people that he was working with. And I'm like, how? How is it like, Will, how do you get into it with everybody?
Because I feel like there are moments that people would just try to discredit him. They like to use him when everything is all good, but then they be quick to discredit him when now he's saying it himself. Now when he's starting to credit himself, now they like, oh no, you ain't do that. You ain't do this. We can have this person do this. We can have that person do that. All right, well now he's ready to be like, all right, well fuck that. Let them do it. And now when y'all don't do it the way he did it, and now he talks about it online, now they like, oh, you're attacking me. You're attacking me. No, I just sat there and tried to, reason with you and try to tell you, hey, this is what I could bring to this table. And then you trying to make it seem like that's not true or valid. Like, oh, well, you can't actually do that until I say something negative. Now, all of a sudden, everybody is like, you're making an impact. Everybody's knowing about this negative thing that you're saying, but when I was promoting you in all positivity, you don't want to credit the fact that people are listening to that and people are coming and showing and pulling up for that. Because
that's a pretty good point. I mean, I can't. And the car type shit for sure. See that? Let's get the bag. No, that's a good point. If you coming to me and saying, "Hey, the words that you saying are affecting my establishment negatively," but yeah,
because they are seeing you promote this place, like AJ's, like Vine is the vibe. Like I've literally watched him. I was there with him when he was promoting these places heavy.
I seen karaoke with the slaps turn AJ's up. I seen that.
That was, and then even that, I just be so upset because these are people that was so-called his friend.
Okay.
Because when he first started off with that stuff with Matt down at AJ's, they were supposedly friends. Me and Will got a huge age gap, so I don't know a lot of these people outside of me meeting him. But the way they were talking, their relationship was like they were friends.
Should have been better than that.
And like I said, we were down. AJ's was open for a whole year before we stepped foot in there. None of those promoters were down in there. Not to discredit them coming after us, but it just shows that nobody was down there really throwing no huge events and promoting it. Like I said, not even discrediting the people that was doing stuff up there, but it wasn't talked about. It wasn't known. People weren't really just making AJ's a household topic where they're like, oh yeah, we finna go out. AJ's is now one of those things that we could do. But they'll discredit that when everything is good. And then they'll be like, no, you ain't do that. So then when he snatches it away and be like, all right, well, fuck it.
Hey Jalen, so you don't believe what he was asking for AJ to do was a little over the top? You don't think so?
What was he asking AJ's to do?
What you mean, like with the contract stuff or
Yes,
whatever?
I talked to him personally during the contract.
So Will wanted AJ's to sign a contract so they can get some paperwork logistically put together. I don't see nothing wrong with that. If somebody's like, all right, man, I'm doing this, but shit, we got to sign this paperwork to guarantee A, B, and C, and that can't get screwed. That's how business should be ran. That'd be the problem with a lot of y'all stuff. Y'all don't want to sign the correct paperwork. Y'all just want to just jump out there and put your face on something and be out here doing this, that, and the third. And as soon as it come down to the back end, you like, oh, well, I should get this. Well, no, we never discussed those terms. But if you got that contractual agreement, that paperwork, in your hand to say this is what it is, this is what I should get paid, this is the days, this is what I'm doing. There's no refuting that. There's no rebuttals that gonna go towards that paperwork. That's gonna hold up in court. It's gonna hold up in anywhere you need to take that shit. So I'm not mad if he was coming to bro and saying, hey, can we sign the contract? Can we put together a little contract, a little paperwork to? No, that's smart. Like that ain't. That's smart. I don't know what kind of contract what was in the terms and conditions of the contract, but the fact that the paperwork was offered and saying, "Hey, we need to really like if we're gonna do this, let's get on some logistics." I mean, for me, that's smart. But now, if he was in that motherfucker, I need to be called strip club King Gary 2 weeks. I need all the bottles for me for free. I need, you know what I'm saying? If it was some demands that just couldn't be met, then okay, I get that. But if it was just some stuff that could be taken care of, then why not? Why not honor it? So,
and I feel like,
and I was like, man, you tripping, bro. He was like, no, I'm not.
I said the same thing when we were going through our fire and we had insurance, and we were staying in a hotel, so they was gonna pay us out for food. The amount of money that he called and told them people, I said, ain't no way they're gonna agree to that. I said that. I said, ain't no way they finna do that. Do you know how much that is? He broke it down because one thing people forget is that he is very intelligent when it comes down to numbers and money and all of that. So he broke it down just as so simple to that lady where she was like, you know what, God damn it, I gotta give it to you. Because
he done talked the cat off the fish wagon is what you saying, Jaila? And she said the amount of money that he was asking for, she thought that they would never be able to get that just for the money he claimed they spent on food. Is what I'm taking that. So he must have called like, man, we gotta pay this every day. I got the kids over here. That's $100 right there. And then we doing that same thing 2 times a day. Nigga, that's 400. Do that, add that up 3 weeks. Nigga, I can see Will kill a motherfucker. That's 10 racks. His number 10. Nigga, that's 10 racks, nigga. They probably like, you know what? Mr. Robert, you're right. That is 10,000. We're gonna go ahead and cut you that check. She like, damn, baby, I see you did
that's the truth. And the thing is, even when it came down with that contract, I think Matt really wasn't understanding the fact that like me and him was literally on a push to try to make that motherfucker great. Both during the lunch hours with business people and then in the evening trying to get it cracking with promoters and all that other extra stuff that he was looking for. And we were like, okay, we looking to promote AJ's all across the board 24/7. It don't matter who comes in here, and promoting a party or anything. We're here to just promote them, promote AJ's.
Right.
And then he's like, oh no, I got somebody else that's about to come in here and do that. Okay. We like, all right, cool. Well, you go ahead and have them do that, and let's see where that goes.
Jayla down, man. I see that now. Like I said, you niggas probably just jealous. I ain't got y'all no chick like Jayla on y'all side that's gonna pop out and show. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. You feel me? She probably the real boogeyman on you niggas. Y'all know how that shit go. But I am getting tired of this motherfucker, man. I'm gonna have to cut it early. I might come back and finish up the rest of it. We only got through 15 minutes. It's a 2-hour motherfucking interview. But make sure y'all go tap in on E16 page. Even if y'all ain't from the town, man, if y'all want to stay in tune with the latest news, the latest stuff that's going down, some of the T and non-T events, man, go tap in the E16 TV, man. Y'all gonna get all the latest shit there. But for me, I am about to call it a night. If y'all can see it, my eyes is heavy right now. And I gotta go lay down. My daughter just moved in with me, man. So I'm kind of excited about that. But she ain't. She like, get out my room. Why are you going in my stuff? I wasn't going through the stuff. I was just trying to see like, what is that? What's in that box? Oh, what you got here? Oh, you got some jewelry? You know what I'm saying? Just like, She like, nigga, no. So that's what that is. But yeah, I'm about to tap in, man. Tap out. Make sure y'all stay safe, man. Keep God first. Stay positive.